Okay, boys and girls, it is your boy Tigu back once again, and it is that time of year. It is the beginning of the year, which means it is time for some New Year's resolutions. You saw the title. We're coming on here today to share with you guys my New Year's resolutions and, just to put it out there and somewhat hold myself accountable. I will happily say that last year, looking back at it, I was actually able to achieve one of my New Year's resolutions. One of them was to sleep more, and that kind of happened, but still, it was definitely not what I was thinking of when I had originally set that resolution. But regardless, I did somewhat sleep a little bit more. But my other New Year's resolution was to really be consistent for a whole year with my health and fitness. And if you guys have been following my channel for like the year, you saw that even at the beginning of the year through quarantine and now the year ended. It's crazy. Like last year passed so freaking fast. You would think that with COVID and am I allowed to say that word on YouTube? You would think that with that and the restrictions or whatever that things would seem a little bit slower, but really it seemed way faster. Like it just flew by. I can't believe because I remember doing those workouts in the park and stuff like that, and that was at the beginning of that whole thing. And now we're over already, and I made it through a whole year of being very consistent with working out and health and fitness and all that stuff. So one of my New Year's resolutions, let's just get it started right here. One of my New Year's resolutions for this year is I'm going to renew that one. That's kind of cheating, but yes, I'm going to do that again and try to be, once again, this whole year consistent with my training. And last year, like the way that I set it up, I actually did like the whole year's worth of one kind of training style and made pretty good progress. And I'll be uploading a video about that later. I got to do that, but it's kind of hard to, do the physique update sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, yeah, so that's one of my New Year's resolutions for this year. Wait a second, I just totally skipped, all right, whatever. That's one of my concrete New Year's resolutions. I'm like, this is going to be super raw and unedited, guys, because I'm just spitting out here, just coming on and just talking about this. So that's one of my New Year's resolutions. It's to be consistent with my health and fitness again this year. Last year was an amazing year for that, as I said. Now, number 2, this is another concrete one, and this is something I've been thinking and I've been noticing. So it is that I want to be better at talking to randos. And not in like a creepy way, but just believe it or not, you would think that just because I'm on here on YouTube that I'm a natural extrovert. However, that is not true. I'm actually an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert, I would say. Like I can talk to people if I'm approached or if somebody talks to me, then it's very easy for me. But I'm not that great at approaching people and talking to random people like that. So I want to be a little better at that this year for sure. Just because it opens, like, you can make more friends that way. And it just makes life more interesting, more entertaining, I guess, more fun. But yeah, I know that like that's an issue. Like I'm really, once I meet somebody or if I'm like put in a situation with somebody where I'm talking to them, that's very easy for me. But just to talk to random people, like at a supermarket or at the gym or something like that, it's not like I don't go and approach people and talk to them. So that's something I want to do, be a little better at by the end of this year. Okay. So those are my 2 concrete New Year's resolutions. Now, for my general one, so it's like not so concrete, but this is general. And you would think that me saying this is obvious, but it's really not. So this one is and this is probably the biggest one because it's very general. Like I said, this is getting really weird. Okay, by the end of 2021, I want to be able to look back on myself and kind of reflect and know that I have become a better person in whatever discipline that may be, like, whether it be fitness, whether it be physical, mental, spiritual, whatever. I want to know that I have elevated myself a little bit since 2020, since the end of the 2020 me. So I want to be able to just know that I've become a better person in any way. So, because this past year, 2020, I've definitely been able to do that, understanding myself a little better, understanding my own emotions a little better, things like that. So yeah, and you would think that's obvious, but really, no, it's not, because I know that there's certain years that I've gone and that year I was only focused on these very concrete things. I wasn't really focused on improving my own mental or like my personal development, if that makes sense. I had just concrete goals that I wanted to do, whether it be like win a tennis tournament, whatever, something like that. But I wasn't so focused on improving myself as a person necessarily. So yeah, those are my New Year's resolutions for this year. So I've put them out here for you. And you guys, if you want to, I'm actually kind of curious. By now, if you watch my channel and you look at the comment section, you should know that I respond and I read every single comment because I can do that right now. So I want to know actually, guys, like what are some of y'all's New Year's resolutions? I'm curious what kind of New Year's resolutions people set out. I know I'm not just saying like, yeah, sure, if you comment, that's good for the algorithm, but I'm actually curious, like, do people even think about New Year's resolutions? Because, I mean, every year you have a chance to improve in some way, right? So I'm kind of curious, like, what do you actually think that you want to do this year? So put that in the comment section below and I will respond to it because I'm legitimately curious. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna end this one, guys. Just wanted to come on here and say all this stuff. You know, like the video if you're feeling generous. I don't know why you would have seen this video if you're not already following. So yeah, subscribe, or I feel like you would already be. Crap, I was trying to do this in one cut, but I messed up right at the end. Crap. All right, well, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.